Thank you very much for your time. This is Al Bashir Mohammed from Grand Synergy Development Initiative. Question number one: in some countries, majority of those in rural area are don't use social media, and they are the bulk of those who misses immunization. What to do? Data triangulation is the answer. Very important. Have different avenue, and you target different media, channels, and try to understand where the majority are, where do they listen from, and which language do they hear most, they communicate through mostly, and you try to translate or target them in data collection, and most importantly dissemination of your results, so that you can get feedback from them in a very effective way. This is what we did when we are doing social media. We also use radio talk show as a data triangulation methodology. Question number two: if a handful of bad actors are responsible for most negative messages, would you recommend censorship or removing them from social media platform? This one, I'm sure it was directed to those who are responsible for Facebook or social media, but this is very difficult because not every negative message is offensive or illegal. So legitimizing that is also the should be the process, and you must consider if your social media or that specific social media has a policy that regulates such communication. We also came across a lot of them, but it was difficult to distinguish which one was if offensive. And to add on that, some negative information or messages in social media are also very important because they give you the insight. Insight is basically the reason behind a specific action or narrative. So once you understand the reason why this is negative, it can help you build up your evidence-based, advocacy on trying to find out what exactly is the problem. Therefore, understanding them is important. Then you use the information you have to build a counter narrative after you have understood the insight behind those negative messages. This is also important. The other question is about: is there any alternative to CrowdTangle discontinued by Meta? Okay, I'm not aware of this. Remember the last time I used was early this year. I don't know if it is discontinued, but we had another application which was also very expensive to use, but was quite helpful, but not as good as CrowdTangle, which we call it Brandwatch. So there's Brandwatch, CrowdTangle, and so many other. We will find out if I'm told it's an organization using a different software. I will find out for you if it is as effective as CrowdTangle, and let's see how it goes. A participant from my neighboring country. My question goes to my colleague from Kenya, that is me. I want to know how effective is demand generation through radio talk show, especially in the context of rural area. All right, in this regard, I'm going to give you some of the sources where we were using to justify why we choose radio talk show as our data triangulation methodology. And very quickly, take a listen and look at this. So the effectivity of demand generation using radio talk show or radio in the rural area is higher compared to all other media. And for Kenya specifically, and some part of the eastern part of Kenya bordering Somalia, I can be able to give you some statistic from Geopol that might be very helpful. And I'm going to detail on this. According to Geopol, a survey which was conducted monitoring radio, TV, and internet audience statistic in Kenya, that is in the first quarter of 2021. And as you understand, in Kenya, we have 63% of the population is rural, and the rest is urban. And that means we really had to check where can we get those who are in the offline. So we came across a study from Geopol, and the methodology of the survey was basically it was a national survey for a sample of 1,905 respondent, 1905. The male to female split was 54 to 46 respectively, and the age, that was from the age 15 to 24 of the correspondent, was 31%. 25 to 34 of age was 32%, and the 37% remaining were the individuals above 35 years of age. And the studies covered all the 11 media topographies in Kenya and was carried out via mobile SMS. And some of the questions and the indicators they were using to analyze was to ask the correspondent the past 30 days media interaction for selected media, including by age, gender, and parental status. And and then you also should also understand that the media landscape itself has been shifting over the years, especially following digital migration, increased access to the internet and digital platform, and continued, uh, proliferation of mobile devices. And this has also led to a fragmentation of audiences. And radio was the most accessed for a form of media, with about 9 in every 10 correspondents in the survey having access radio in the last 30 days, as it was conducted by Geopol. So, um, based on what we saw, 87% of those people who were asked whether they were able to access media in the last 30 days, 87% confirmed that they accessed radio, and only 13 of those who were asked about radio, they said no. So that means it was the majority. And then television. So that means radio, then internet, then television. And we've also noticed that a bigger percentage of females access, radio at home more than male. And 79% of the correspondent, they listen to radios from their home. So traditionally radio listener were done via a radio set receiver or something like that, especially at home. Despite the 80% of listeners happening at home, device usage is split between radio receiver 57% and mobile phone 49%, with internet access reported to be higher at par with TV. The mobile devices presents an excellent opportunity for broadcasters to optimize how they deliver radio content.